Exeter.
Congratulations to them, they deserve it. Excitement is mounting ahead of the SailGP race weekend, and of course Andy Burkett has the full lowdown. If you haven't seen them, these are the catamarans that sort of fly rather than sail through the water. Extraordinary. But before we head to Andy, Anna Val has been catching up with school children in Plymouth, learning about the science behind these phenomenal boats.
Water, sun, sea. Throw in a boat or two and you have a winning school trip. These children are here to get a taste for science, the fun way.
We've made cars with a propeller, and now we're in a boat.
We watched it all go all the way down to the bottom. Even though ours didn't win, it was still really fun to watch. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Did you? Yeah.
Now, these boats were actually built by Plymouth children. They're testing them out today, and unsurprisingly, it's one of the most popular activities today. So what a day for it. The city needs more scientists and engineers, and getting them interested young is a good place to start.
There is a bit of a gap in skills in the city, so it's an important one to address. And this age group in particular, it's a really important one with the enthusiasm they have.
Just hearing our children talking about engineering, but also natural power that's available, things that are available in the city where they live, so it's job opportunities for the future, and hopefully it'll set their career paths in the right direction.
Anybody want to do science? Anybody want to join science or maths or engineering? Tough crowd.
I want to be a trampolinist.
I want to be a runner. Military.
Military?
I don't really know.
But we do have some takers.
Yeah, I do really like science.
Well, I'm going to be an inventor, so
That sounds cool.
I could invent like boats and stuff. Yeah, that would be cool. I think I would be a scientist, yeah.
Well, you heard it here first. We could be looking at the next generation of Sail Grand Prix designers right here in Plymouth. Anna Val, BBC Spotlight at the Tinside Lido in Plymouth.
Some boat builders in the making there. Just one of the projects that SailGP has brought to the city. But this weekend, it's all about the racing. Andy Burkett is down at Trinity Pier for us this evening with the helmsman of the British boat. Is he feeling confident, do you reckon?
Well, Gemma, we'll find out in a moment. He should be. He's a multiple world champion. He's also won an Olympic gold medal. We're going to be talking to Paul in a moment. I imagine he's a confident chap most of the time. We're also going to be joined by Conrad Humphreys there. You can see him making his way over. He's the on-water manager, operations manager during this event. And why is it in Plymouth? Well, Plymouth won a 6-month bidding process back in 2019. And why did the council want it here? Well, for reasons like an estimated 18 million boost to the economy and also projects like the STEMGP you just saw there. But the main reason, well, it's got to be the racing. And tomorrow they're going to get to see these boats in action. But our Heidi Davey, well, she got out there first. She's already seen them at work. Here it comes now.
This is all about adrenaline-fueled racing. 8 teams from across the world are competing in these F50 catamarans over the next 2 days. Plymouth is the 3rd event in this season's calendar, and the teams are well rehearsed at unpacking and rebuilding their precious cargo.
The boat's gone out on the water for the first time. Everything seems to be going all right. The crew's pretty excited, and yeah, we've had an up and down season so far, but more time we spend on the water, especially out there in the sound, would be fantastic to get going.
Matt's best known as an Olympic rower, having taken gold in Rio, but he now brings that power to these state-of-the-art boats.
We put in the heavy lifting, as you'd say, and then hopefully it kind of works out all right as we get around the course. There's a lot of pressure systems moving around the UK at the moment, so hopefully we get enough wind at the weekend. But either way, these boats can race in pretty light conditions. They might drop it down to 3 crew members again, which is always exciting. We lose the grinders off the boat, which is a bit disappointing for us, but it turns it into a pretty interesting battle out there.
The British team normally has fellow Olympian and homegrown talent, Sir Ben Ainsley at the helm. He's sitting this one out, however, as his wife has just had a baby. But fellow Olympian Paul Goodison is standing in. And on the water, the wing-sailed catamarans take to the air quite literally, topping its speeds of 60 miles per hour. The teams have been putting on a show here in Plymouth Sound for the past 2 days, but when the GP officially starts on Saturday, there will be 3 fleet races, followed by another 2 on the Sunday, and then that all-important final. Team GB are currently second on the leaderboard, just 1 point behind Spain. They're hoping home waters will be kind to them.
Well, time to catch up with the guys now. Paul, these boats can get up to 60 miles an hour. How difficult is it handling one of those?
It's not easy when you're going that fast, but it's also just as challenging in the light winds. When you see conditions like today and we're down to only a couple of guys on board, it gets really difficult.
And obviously this weather is wonderful for being out having a beer and watching, but out on the water, how tricky is it without a lot of wind?
All my buddies are laughing at me out there. I'm sailing in rash vests and t-shirts. They're expecting their wellies and overcoats. But no, it's quite tricky in the light winds. The position's going to change a lot. There's going to be a lot of lead changes. Great for the fans, but quite frustrating and challenging for the sailors.
Well, best of luck, Paul. We'll have a quick word with Conrad here. Oh, how big a deal is this for Plymouth, do you reckon?
It's huge. I mean, it's been obviously a huge amount of build-up to this, but it's here, it's arrived, the weather's fantastic, and the sailors are all turned up and they're doing some awesome things with these boats. So it's a seriously big deal for the city.
Not just the sailors turning up, uninvited guests today.
Yeah, we had a little baby humpback whale that came onto the course. In fact, it came yesterday as well, but today it decided to track through the course and caused a little bit of chaos as the boats had to just stop what they were doing as we waited for the mammal to leave. And there's a serious point to these events because it's very unusual for the marine mammal to come into Plymouth Sound, but we have to obviously stop the racing. And for tomorrow, if it does turn up, we do need to make sure that people are aware and they don't go and chase this little thing out the water. They try to get it out the Sound.
OK, brilliant. Well, thank you, Conrad. Thank you, Paul. Quick one, are you confident?
Of course I am.
Well, there we go. Kind of knew that, didn't we? The racing starts at 2 tomorrow, and that's the same on Sunday. But the big question this weekend, David, have you got any wind for these two?
Well, I think so, yes. Like we saw today, actually, Andy, there will be a sea breeze that kicks in. That's a south-southwesterly in Plymouth Sound. We're likely to see that again tomorrow, perhaps a bit more east in the wind by the time we get to Sunday. But the forecast for us for the weekend has to be the story of temperature. Today we got to 27 in Exeter at Exeter Airport. There's a possible high tomorrow and into Sunday of 29 degrees. And if we get that warm, it'll certainly for us be the warmest day of the year so far. And for many, that's a pretty uncomfortable temperature at the same time. So let's look at the